Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith, I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I'm working with the lovely Whimsical Trees stamp set, and actually the coordinating dies predominantly, because they come with some lovely tree themed dies, and we're going to make this little box here. So it's part of the Whimsey and Wonder suite. So we have got this lovely DSP which has iridescent accents on it, and it's sort of really pretty colours for Christmas. You've got everything from trees to snowflakes to gifts to baubles, so a really useful set of DSP. It's 12 by 12, and on the one side, say, it's got this lovely iridescence, and on the reverse, as always, the sort of everyday patterns. So some lovely holly leaves there. Colours include polished pink, mint macaron, what other colours I've got them written down? Blushing Bride, mossy meadow, misty moonlight as well, and yeah, I think that's it. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5 different colours. So you can see the shine on that is gorgeous. So yeah, really pretty papers. Let's say 12 by 12, 2 sheets each of the 6 designs, and really useful. And pretty colours. So I like this addition of the pinks in there. So I'm making this gorgeous little triangle treat box. The idea being it would be perfect for the Christmas table, or for taking little gifts around when you're going around to someone's house, and it just tucks in at the top here, a bit like a box. Just tuck that in, and then there you have it. Yeah, so a fun box, and you can get 2 from a sheet of A4, so it's a frugal box. Obviously you could extend that and make it sort of twice the height from 1 sheet of A4 if you wanted to, but I just thought that's the size would sit really well, and you could sort of pop sweets in there, or sort of a little bit of jewellery, or all sorts of things. So what you're going to need, as I've said, half a sheet of A4, and so this is 28 by 10.5 centimetres. So I've trimmed that down to 28 already. And on the long edge you are going to score at, really simple, 9, 18, and then at 27. I apologise for the light. It is the darkest of anything days today. On each side you're going to score the short edge at 2.6. Darkest of days, and I just wanted to get one more video done before I finished for the day, but I'm having to obviously work in artificial light, so there's probably quite a bit of shadow, but I hope you can still see everything. In terms of inches, it is 11 by 4 1/8, so score long at 3.5, 7 and 10.5 inches, and score the short sides at 1 1/16 on each side. Once you've done that, we want some layers as well. So the panels that I'm going to do, I want 3 that are 8.7 by 5. So I'm just going to cut this at 8.7. And then 3 panels of 5 centimetres. That, just a third one, like so. Okay, and then we want some DSP. So I thought we would use, for the sides, I thought we'd use the holly berries. So 8.4 by 4.7. So I'm just going to do 8.4, 2 pieces of 4.7. Just because I thought it would pick out the really pretty pink, that lovely Blushing Bride in there, and that's sort of hot pink as well. So just a third one. So again 4.7 and 8.4. So those are our 3 layers. Now for the top, we want some strips that are 2.3 centimetres. So I'm just going to use some of my scrap here. I'm just going to cut 3 strips. And I'm not worrying about the length because we're going to trim those down by hand. But those are the 3 strips that we need. And I need some strips of DSP as well. And I thought I would use the snowflakes, so I've got a few scraps. So again, these are going to be just 2 centimetres wide. So I'm just using this midway point to line it up as well. And probably this little bit here would do as well. So 3 strips that are about 9 centimetres by 2 centimetres, just to give you an idea of the size of scrap that you need. Okay. So the other bit we're going to do is we're going to take our tailored tag punch, and I'm just going to punch one out of my Blushing Bride as well. Pop my scoreboard away. Try not to knock the tripod over. And then in terms of the stamping, I'm just going to use the die cuts on these, apart from the sentiment stamp. So with that, just noticed I haven't actually cleaned it. Just give that a quick clean. So this is what I use when I'm crafting along. I use, as you can see, well used Simply Chamois, and then at the end of my session I get out my Stampin' scrub and I give them all a good clean. So using my polished pink here and just coming in with that sentiment. And then again I can come in with my tag, and I don't need it to be all the way obviously. So I'm just going to line that up fairly well over to the left and just sort of centre that top to bottom. Pop that out. So we're going to pop that on there. Okay, so now we need to do the rest of it. So I have already gone into those dies and I've cut an assortment of trees out of polished pink, mint macaron and Blushing Bride. So those are all ready to go. So I'm going to create my panels ready to go onto the card base. So I've got 3 panels with my DSP and 3, there we go. So very straightforward on this. We're going to be using something like our Stampin' seal, or if you've still got some snail left, a bit of snail. And you're just going to pop those on there. There's a narrow border, so I always line it up at the bottom, make sure it's even on 3 sides, and then as long as you've cut everything square, you're going to be sorted. That one could have been a little more put on a little bit squarer, couldn't it? Again, apologies for the shadows. I kind of set myself a target of what I want to get done in a day, so sometimes it's just it's for my sanity, because otherwise I'll kind of go, didn't get done what I wanted to get done. So for these strips I'm just going to pop those down the middle. In fact, I've cut those out of the wrong colour, haven't I? Those should have been from polished pink. So grab my polished pink and quickly cut those. So these are the 2.3 pieces, because I wanted them to contrast with the Blushing Bride box. So as I said, about 9 centimetres in length by 2.3. I have done the measurements, as I said, in inches, which I'll pop on my blog rather than keep flicking between the two. I suppose 3 3/8 are those the panels? Yeah. See, I'll get confused as to which ones I'm talking about. So here we go. Pop those snowflake layers on there. The other thing you'll need for this actually is a pencil and a ruler. So if you want to grab those as well, because we're going to want to do some marking. So this is to get those edges nice and clear. So all I'm going to do is come along on each of the edges and mark at just under about 1.6 centimetres. So this is my erasable pen. You've seen me use this before. So I'm going to put the 1.6 on the score line and then mark at 0 and 3.2. 1.6 on the score line. And then from this short edge, 1.6 again. So I'm just marking these edges because that's going to give me a point to cut down to and get those nice edges. I did try just kind of trimming it, but I found that actually measuring it did seem to be the better way. Okay, so having marked those, and you only need to make the tiniest little mark, I'm just going to reinforce those creases. And when I'm folding up, I'm just making sure those edges are lined up nice and straight as well. It just keeps it all square. So with these, you can do it either you can cut down from each side. If you've got fairly strong hands and fingers, then you can cut with it folded over. Like so. So you're cutting from the mark to the score line. And obviously on this bit we're just going to just notch that out slightly. So, and what I'm doing is I'm coming on the inside of my mark as well, because that way I can always trim. If I've left it a little bit long, I can always trim it away, whereas obviously if I come a bit short, it just leaves a little bit of a gap. So having done that, battered my light, and just it does make you appreciate the summer. Today we've gone full on winter mode, dark. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add our panels. So again, this is flat, so we can just add that into the centre there. And I think you'll agree it looks absolutely beautiful. And as it's not a directional pattern, it doesn't matter which way is top or bottom. It makes life easier. Like so. Then what we're going to do with these top pieces is I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of my strips, and then I'm just going to centre those. Make sure it just comes to the edge, and then again just come in with your snips on each side. I find it easiest to kind of line it up with the top edge where it's rather than with the bottom, which is obviously on a score line. So if you struggle with this at all, just to tuck it out of the way as much as you can. You can always come at it from this angle if you tuck that flap away, which will help you get it nice and neat to it. And the last one, Again, just line that up on there. You will need to give your scissors a bit of a clean afterwards, a little bit of glue on there. There we go. Chuck all those little bits out of the way. So there we go. We're coming to that's coming together nicely. So I'm just going to place my trees, and the back one I'm just going to add a bit of glue onto it and just put that straight as far as I can, and just come in with your snips and snip those off at the bottom. And then these other two, I'm doing a pink and a green, I'm just going to add some dimensionals onto there. And I'll just do those. That's my husband coming back. Apologies for the noise in the background. Bear with me a moment when I can find my dimensionals. I put them handily to hand. Here we go. So just pop. All I'm doing is just popping a couple of dimensionals onto the back of those, and a blushing bride one as well. Obviously put as many or as few on as you like. And I'm just going to go to pink, green and then pink, so it's a nice bit of mint macaron in the middle there. Like so. And this one I'm just going to tuck slightly alongside it. And then again, just come in with your snips and just snip those off. Then all that's left to do is for us to create our layered label. So just pop a bit of adhesive on the back of your tailored tag. I say it's just a partial one, and we're just going to layer that like so. And again on the bottom. And then again, pop that up on some dimensionals and add a couple of rhinestones. And with that, I'm just going to pop that, centre that in the middle there. Again, fold the flap back and you can just trim like so. And then all that's left is to add our couple of, clear the decks and add some rhinestones. Just to add that little bit of sparkle, just add to the iridescence, and if you've got any tiny smudges of ink on there at all, as I've got quite a large one by the looks of it, I'll pop an extra diamante in there. And there we have our box. So all that remains is for us actually to assemble that, and to do that I'd usually use my Seal Plus, or obviously any strong glue that you've got. I'm just going to use the last of my Fast Fuse, which is a really strong glue, and I'm just going to pop that, fold the top in and just line that up like so. On the bottom we just need to add some glue to the undersides of these. Now on the bottom, obviously it doesn't matter if it's just in that last little triangle of the corner, you just want to pop that in, and then you can add some into this one as well, like so. And then all that remains is for you to just close the top, so fold, fold, lift that up, and there you have our second little box ready to go. So thank you for watching. Which one do you prefer? Do you like are you like me? Do you like the polished pink, or do you prefer my mint macaron sample? Here we go. We have trees, we have holly leaves. I think both would look lovely, depends on your colour scheme. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to purchase any products, pop along to my blog and click on the links below this, and I'd love it if you were my customer.